Well, like a little kid again on Christmas morning, if you haven't seen the last video, unveiled the new toy at the dealership. Now I'm sitting on the front porch with the better half, waiting for it to show up. And I think I actually see it coming. I do. I see a turn signal. It's here. Oh, it's here. It has arrived. It's home. Oh. Yes. Oh, you missed it. He missed it. Probably because What Hillbilly has a gravel driveway and getting an exotic car delivered. He'll have to circle around. I'm gonna call him, let him know. What do you think?
I think I should drive it.
Y'all heard it here first. She said she's gonna drive this one.
I said I think I should.
She would not drive the last R8.
No.
Wouldn't drive the GT3.
That thing was too loud.
She's for sale. For sale, not mine. Not mine. What does Strad say? There's no day quite like delivery day? I think I have to agree now. Alright, so the auto transport guy had a good point. You know, Lamborghini used to make farm tractors, so it makes sense that the Lamborghini is just back at the farm. It's like coming back home. It blends into the house though. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm still just in shock that this is actually mine. I will sit down and go over the spec with you guys and let you know all the options on the boxes we checked, but I just want to show you the inside real quick. We did the carbon buckets with the green accents, but if you've ever gone online and spec'd one of these things out with the green interior for the accents, you'll have noticed the bottoms of the dash were all green, and there was a bunch of stuff on the side that was green. We selected to go add personam on the interior, which allows you to pick each individual little spot inside of the car and call out what color you want on it. So we got rid of a lot of that green just so it wasn't so overpowering. There was so much of it, and I think this ended up with the perfect amount of green. You guys let me know, comments below, what do you think of the color combo in the spec? Did Verde Scandal for the calipers and for the trim inside. They had a different green that was available that wasn't ad personam, but I've always just loved the Verde Scandal color so much. So you know what? This is the one time I've gotten to spec an exotic. It's my first Lamborghini. I'm speccing it the exact way I want. I don't care if I have to pay extra for a specific shade of green. I want it the way I want. I don't care how that sounds. So actually my mom is about to pull in the driveway. I was gonna take this thing for a drive real quick since all I did was drive it around the block at the dealership. She hasn't been in it yet. So what we're gonna do is after mom comes and goes, we're gonna jump in, she's gonna grab onto the camera, and we're gonna take you guys for our first real drive. Going around the dealership does not constitute a drive. We'll catch you on the road. All right, mom has come and gone. We're actually just drove by the house she's looking to buy, and I have no idea how to use half the stuff in this car. It took us 15 minutes in the driveway to figure out how to get the Bluetooth audio to play. The phone was already connected. I just couldn't get the audio to play. Guess we're gonna take you for a quick drive and kind of give you the initial thoughts. Back on some country roads. We've got it in sport mode. So I already noticed that the valves for the exhaust, they close as soon as you start accelerating, and then when you go into decel, they seem to open back up. Hit or miss. And oh, this road is a little bit rough. It sounds good though for a stock car. Honey, what do you think of this thing so far?
I like it.
You like it?
I give it my stamp of approval.
Stamp of approval. I'm gonna give her the camera so I can actually pay attention to driving. Apparently she just wants the video out the windshield.
I was panning.
There was no panning there.
There was the pan.
I don't know. I think I need a new camera woman. I forgot. She was for sale. I think in the driveway. I forget what kind of tomfoolery she was up to, but she was up to something. You were going to drive?
I think. I don't remember my tomfoolery.
Yeah, I don't remember what she was doing either. I was trying to take the camera back from me. Get your dang damn camera. As you guys will see, we did the Alcantara dash with the carbon vents. Vanna White over here again. We got the carbon down there. Alcantara headliner. We got the Alcantara steering wheel. Alcantara doors. And I love the look and feel of Alcantara. The downfall of Alcantara, in my opinion, is keeping it not so much clean, but like little fuzzies and stuff from getting in it. I already noticed a few fuzzies, and I have OCD somewhat, and cottonwood and everything else, but I just love the way they look and feel. The turn signals, I should be able to get used to them quick. It's kind of like the Teslas where you got to hit the little button to go left and right, not the stalk like we're all so used to. It's a spot.
There's a spot.
She sees a spot.
There's a spot.
What did you do?
I don't have anything.
It's on your side.
I'm getting.
There's a spot. We're at 53 miles. I picked it up at 42. Test drove it around, and we just drove around the block. There's one spot of Alcantara that to me that doesn't make sense, and it's the door sill. The first portion of the door sill is Alcantara. That is going to get trashed. I don't remember if there's an option to do carbon sills or not. If there was, I'm a big dummy for not doing them. I love the way carbon sills look. So yeah, when we get back home, I will go over the full build sheet with you guys, you know, all the options that we had picked. And I say we because she came with me.
I did help.
When we spec'd this thing out last year. And she actually picked the most expensive option on the car, which is not on it for two reasons. Number one, when it went into production, Lamborghini called and said they're no longer offering that option. And number two, I was gonna tell them to pull it off anyway because it's a small little pinstripe along the bottom of the car and up the rear diffuser. It's about a 1/2 inch tall. It's Verde Scandal to match the calipers and match all the piping. It was $14,500.
Oopsie.
Now, I understand it's Lamborghini, but that's sheer insanity. But the person who picked that, yeah, that one there.
It was me.
It was her. She was guilty. We're gonna have a pinstripe done after the fact on it to get the look because it looked really freaking sharp. We'll drop a picture of a rendering of the car with the pinstripe on it, and you guys let me know if it looked sharp. So yeah, I don't want to beat on this thing yet, given that it's not even close to broken in. And they did ask me, please don't, you know, beat it all the way to red line. Turns out the dealership already had somebody who's offered to buy this car from me for 50 over, which not interested. I'm not interested. This is my first freaking Lamborghini and my first custom spec exotic car. I'm not getting rid of it just to make a few bucks. It's just not happening. That's a quick driving recap of this thing. This road is probably not the best choice in retrospect. I forgot it's kind of bumpy. Okay, it's real bumpy. I'm just gonna drive into oncoming traffic. Hopefully they move. Sorry guys, I don't want to talk over wheel. Wheels were an expensive option, as you guys will find out when we go through the list. We'll catch you guys up with the list here shortly, and we'll do a quick walk around to the car on the outside. All right, you guys, as you can see, I clearly am in a different shirt. The sky clearly looks a little different, and even the car looks a little different. By the time we got home the other day, it was dark out, too late to film what I wanted to film, which is going over the window sticker for this thing and all of the options. So here we are, a couple days later. Still beautiful out though, it's a great day. But first thing, how much better does it look tinted? I think it made a huge difference, and we did 15% ceramic on the sides, and our guys tried to do the windshield, but the windshield's so low, the dash is so deep, and the seats are in such a precarious location that they just couldn't get it. The biggest hiccup was the dash being Alcantara. If you even touch that thing, even a tiny little bit, you pick up a little piece of fuzz, you're stuck with it. And I told him, I was like, if there's any imperfections or there's any risk of imperfections in the windshield, skip it, don't do it. I don't need it that bad. I think it looks a lot better though tinted. So as promised, I have the window sticker along with the options. We're gonna run through the entire thing and kind of tell you guys a couple options we had looked at that we didn't get, one we wish we'd have gotten that we didn't get, and kind of the reason why. So let's get right into it. We'll create a running total up here somewhere. Base price, $239,000. That's what MSRP is. And I always see like on Facebook groups when things are for sale, somebody will post a car for sale for, you know, $299,000, and somebody inevitably takes a snapshot or a screenshot of like Google MSRP of the car and it's like $229. Why are you asking, you know, so much money over sticker? A lot of people don't realize how much money you can rack up in options alone. We're gonna start a little bit out of order. I'm just not gonna go down the list because I kind of put it in a weird way. So color, this bad dude is Grigio Telesto. Now Lamborghini gives you like 5 color options: white, black, red, silver, and something else at no additional cost. But as soon as you go off those colors, you get to pay for the difference. Before I say it, let me know in the comments down below, how much do you think just the option for Grigio Telesto paint is? It's $14,000. And if you wanted a matte version of the paint, which then is not called Grigio Telesto, it's called something else. It's like 16 or 16.5. It's crazy. So we'll put 14,000 up here. Then for the calipers, there's a handful of colors you can pick that are what I would call reasonably priced. These are an ad personam color, and this color is Verde Scandal. It's another color from Lamborghini that I've always loved, so I figured if I get this opportunity to build my exact spec, I really want to pick the colors that I've always loved from Lamborghini. So Verde Scandal for the calipers. Calipers, $2,400. just to have them the color green I wanted. Now I'm gonna try and go down the list so I don't freaking miss anything. And we're gonna jump to the inside. So on that Verde Scandal, we picked Verde Scandal for stitching and piping. I told you guys, if we do the Verde Scandal inside, like the whole bottom of the dash, the whole side, the side of the center console, all that green. Too much green in my opinion. So we did ad personam and picked what we wanted black so we could keep our green little accents. So for the contrast colors on the interior, that's $4,600. Seems super reasonable, right? No. We did the function pack, and the function pack comes with 3 things. You get a rear view camera, you get the front end lift, and you get smartphone interface. So those 3 items shouldn't be terrible, right? $6,100. Now on Porsche, I think my Porsche was $3,500 for front end lift, and it already had rear camera and it already had the smartphone interface. So you have to pay for more things with this than I did with the GT3, at least if my memory serves me right. I don't know, here's what I don't even know what it is. It just says additional parts in. That's all, that's it. No idea, $1,400. Yeah, and looking through the rest of the list, I can't figure out what that $1,400 is for. All right, now this option, well worth it in my opinion. These amazing bucket seats with the carbon, they're phenomenal, they're very comfortable. They're definitely more comfortable than the Porsche carbon buckets were. These seats were $7,600, which is actually cheaper than the Porsche carbon buckets too, if I remember correctly. I just figured out what the additional parts in where it stops. It's in Alcantara, because now I'm on the line item for our lovely Alcantara steering wheel, and that is $900 for the steering wheel. All right, now here is an area where I made a big mistake, and that is the stereo. You'll see, I'm gonna close myself in here. That little label, if it focuses, says Sensonum, and that's supposed to be Lamborghini's like best stereo that they have. In order to get that stereo, you had to forego another option, and it was an option that I really wanted, but I like to listen to music, and I like to listen to loud music that sounds really good, so I gave up on the option that I wanted. In retrospect, I should have just got the regular stereo and then had the local shop do a new stereo in this thing, because this Sensonum stereo freaking sucks in my opinion. It's probably one of the worst stock radios I've ever heard, but I couldn't get the carbon doors, and the carbon doors are amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, these doors look really good, but the problem is, you know, when you've got your arm hanging out of the window, if you've got lotion or anything on, the Alcantara just like soaks it up. So we'll drop a picture of what the carbon doors look like. My buddy just took delivery of an STO a couple weeks ago, and it's got those doors, and they look awesome. Not worried about your arms sitting on it. So big regret there doing the Sensonum. And the Sensonum came with a decent sized price tag too. It was $3,800 for the Sensonum stereo. I would have rather had the carbon doors. The carbon doors were more expensive. I think they were like $5,000 or $6,000. I don't remember, I could be wrong. So I saved a few bucks, but I don't like the stereo. Another one that kind of ties in with the Verde Scandal, and I don't remember which parts because everything is freaking individual. There's another line item for bicolor trim with laser, and I don't know exactly what that is. I'm assuming it's part of the Verde Scandal on the interior. I don't know what the laser is. It's $1,800. I can't show you now because it's light outside, but when you open the door and it's dark out, it's got the little light that shines down and it lights up the Lamborghini logo on the ground. Had to have that. It was $340. Here's a silly one for you. Floor mats. Yes, you have to pay extra for floor mats. $600. And they're nothing special even. It just says floor mats with leather. Now here's another option that I think was well worth it, and it would have tied in really well with the doors, and that is the carbon. You got the carbon up here, you got carbon there, and then you get the dark chrome switches. So everything's in dark chrome instead of shiny chrome, and that includes coming back here to the center console, and you've got carbon along the front of the dash there. That option, I'm easily $7,200. You know, when you look at this list and you go down it, it really does seem a little bit crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And here's the thing, when you're at the dealership in the build room, you don't know pricing as you're going through it. You're just picking your options and you're building on the screen and it's changing as you're doing it, and you're just rolling through. And then when you're done, they print you out your build sheet. And when we did this, it was before they were even in production. So it was pre-production when we ordered this, and they had pricing that wasn't for sure. They think they had the right pricing in, but you get that at the end of the build, and then you get your total and you go, oh good Lord, what did I do? So now here's a couple of the ad personam options. To get rid of the green on the bottom and do black was $600, somewhat reasonable. To get rid of the green from this side leather piece here and from that little leather piece there, $1,300. You were already getting the parts, you just have to pay extra to get them in black instead of the custom color. That seems crazy. Like, I think you should save a few bucks doing black instead of having it in the custom color, but whatever. So we've got a few more things on the outside of the car. Like I said, but this thing is, they've got stuff all over the place. So I'm gonna jump back out. We'll go over the last few items. We'll total this thing up, and then you guys can tell me I'm absolutely crazy. Here's a big ticket one for you, the wheels. Now, they're not anything crazy. They were a decent looking wheel, and I didn't realize until, of course, after we're done building it, but they're an ad personam wheel. So the wheel option, $8,000. You can buy some pretty cool wheels aftermarket for that, but I'd rather just have had them on the car, done, ready to go. This one's gonna make you laugh. That little logo there in black. Apparently it's not black from the factory, it's like chrome. So if you want it black, $600 for a logo in black, nuts. Then we have what's called the style package in high gloss black, which is like these louvers on the back that are black, the side ones there that are black, and then the kind of the back of the car in black. Now that's an option that I could have done in carbon fiber, but I know when it's that big of an area and it's that much stuff, the carbon fiber would have been a ridiculous option. And honestly, I really like the way the gloss black looks with this color. I think it's a great accent, and I just think it's sharp. And even that, still just to do it in black, is $2,800. One more matte black option, the tailpipes. I mean, yep, you're already getting tailpipes, but no, if you want them black, you gotta pay extra. It's an extra $600. Now, how are the tailpipes, and they're much bigger than the logo, how are they the same price as the logo? I don't freaking understand. And here's one I was torn on, and I actually tried to cancel, but I was too late to cancel it, and it was a 3-year maintenance package. So any and all maintenance that's required on the car in the first 3 years of ownership, Lamborghini takes care of. There's no bill. Of course, tires and brakes don't count because they're a wearable item. That was $4,200. As long as I send it in for all of the services, I'll be money ahead. If I skip any of them, or if I have an oil change done at like my local Audi dealership, then I will have spent more money on the service package than I would have just paying for everything individually. All right, so that's the full build sheet of the options for the car. 2 things that you still get dinged for that you don't have a choice on. Number 1, gas guzzler tax. I mean, it doesn't guzzle that much gas. It's only a naturally aspirated V10. That would be $2,100 just for the tax. And then this one maybe makes a little bit of sense because it's coming from a long way away, and that is the destination charge. $3,695. Now, I've got a comment on that destination charge. There was an option to take delivery of the car at the factory in Italy. As US citizens, we're not allowed to drive the car in Italy. We could go to the factory, look at it, but we cannot drive it. Now, if you're a European resident, any of the EU countries, you could take delivery and you could drive the thing in Italy. I would have done that in an absolute heartbeat had we been able to drive it. A little bit frustrating that you can't. Would have been a once in a lifetime opportunity. Would have loved it, such is life. So that's the total for everything on the car as ordered from Lamborghini, but there's one thing we did order from the dealership itself, and that was PPF. So they had a local shop who does really good PPF, and Lamborghini does offer an option to PPF the car or parts of the car, but our sales rep said actually he would recommend the local shop because they use Expel, and Expel is awesome. So we had their shop do all the high impact areas, so the whole entire nose is done, the mirrors are done, the lower rockers are done, and then all the painted area back here behind the tire, because as you can see, that tire is going to throw some stuff up. So that was another $4,750, and that brings our grand total up to something around here. It's a lot. That's all I know. It's a lot. It's more than I would have ever in a million years thought I would spend on a car. If you had asked me when I was younger, even if you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have said you were absolutely nuts. That's more expensive than our first house. That's more expensive than our second house, which we built brand new. That's a little crazy to me. But once in a lifetime opportunity for me to get to order my very own custom spec Lamborghini and to get my first Lamborghini. Now, I told you there was another option that I wanted, but we didn't get. 2 reasons. Number 1, price. Number 2, when it went into production, Lamborghini said they can no longer offer that option, which didn't break my heart. And it was a tiny little pinstripe that goes along the bottom of the car. We'll put a picture in because when I ordered the car, we had that option on there. So the renderings show it. It's a little pinstripe along the bottom of the car in Verde Scandal to match the calipers, to match the interior. And it goes around the side, around the front, and then up the diffuser. On the little diffusers that would have been on there, it was $14,500. That's insanity. I was going to cancel that option no matter what, but Lamborghini decided for me. So we're gonna have my guy over at Fade to Black who does the tints. He's got a vinyl that like exactly matches those calipers, and he's gonna do that pinstripe for me, and I think it's gonna look great. So thank you guys for checking out the video. Thank you guys for checking out the car. Love you guys. And once we get this thing broken a little bit more, we'll go for some rips in it, go to spin class, and have some fun. Catch you later.